Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and I was always told how to voice the radio, so today I am delighted, because I can finally show you all of them their secret rares, which are going to be coming around in that new double set over in Japan, of Skyscraping Perfect and Blue Sky Stream. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, it's later than I would like, if I'm honest with you. Obviously, we would like these a lot faster than we actually got them, and that's all a little bit sad and all of that. And I'm sorry, quite frankly, it just took a while. And I think from now on, for various reasons, we are going to do our secret rare videos on the Friday, the actual release day, rather than trying to get them done a couple days early. This seems like the best way forward. So, there are a lot of secret rares coming, and when I say a lot of secret rares coming, I mean a lot of secret rares coming. 46 in total, 23 from each set. So let's get rolling, and let's start off having a little bit of a look at the Pokemon. And we'll go in set order because, I don't know, that seems to make the most sense to me. So we are getting a full art version of Trevonnen V. Trevonnen V, unfortunately, not getting a special art. You can be upset about that or not, as you like. Now, Trevonnen V, I kind of like, but I like it way more for the V Max. It's fine, 30 damage, heal 30, or 120, discard a card from your opponent's hand without looking. It's fine, but it's nothing hugely special. We are getting a full art of Volcarona V. Now, again, no special art coming in here. This is fine. The best attack here probably is a single energy, 20 for each basic energy in your discard pile, and then shuffle them into your deck, and 20 base damage. It's alright. But it's not a card we can be particularly over-the-top excited about, I think is fair to say. Gyarados V is not getting a special art, just a full art you can see on the screen. And I know this is upsetting a bunch of people, because Gyarados is a very popular Pokemon. And all I can say here is that I am sorry. It's also not a phenomenal card. It does, for free energy, do 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon, and I didn't mention this previously, so let me mention it now. Do remember that Memory Capsule is a thing, so you can essentially use Gyarados V Max to copy this of a Memory Capsule. That might be something we might want to look into. Now, Metacham V does have a full art, but we also have a special art here. It's one I showed you a couple of days ago. The special art is absolutely out and out, over the top, crazy, phenomenally good. And I mentioned this before, but let me say it again. You notice all the other Pokemon that are featured here. We've got Plusle and Minun, we got Jumpluff, we got Cloyster, we got Centiskorch. These are Pokemon that are all being featured in this set as Rapid Strike Pokemon. I love that Pokemon are doing this. So once again, you really want to be hoping for the special art over the full art here. I think that's fair. In terms of Metacham as a card, it's got that really nice attack that for 2 energy puts 2 damage counts on one of your opponent's Pokemon. But if you get a knockout, you take an extra turn. You can't do it 2 turns in a row, so you can have 2 turns in a row, but not 3. Sooner or later, someone's going to break this card, I imagine, but I don't see this as great for looping. I see this as great for taking a cheeky extra turn when you can get a KO with Metacham. You are going to want to. Incidentally, we are mentioning the best thing about the cards as we go, but there are so many cards we're talking about here, we're not going in-depth analysis. We're really showing off the secret rares here. I've analysed all these cards. I will pop links in the description. Speaking of cards with nice full arts and amazing special arts, how about Dragonite V? I adore this Dragonite V. I've heard some people say that they want Dragonite looking a bit more rough and tumble. No one actually used the phrase rough and tumble, of course, but I just love Dragonite chilling in the air with all the bird Pokemon flying under it. This is one of my very favourite special arts we've seen. I absolutely adore this. Do remember, of course, that Dragonite V is not actually in the set. Normally, it's being taken out to be used as a promo. It is only going to be in our set. Obviously, in Japan, it's fine. In our set, in Evolving Skies, we're going to have the full art and the alternate art, but we're not going to have the regular. As for it as a card, 2 water, 1 lightning energy, 20 damage to each of your bench, 250 to your opponent's active. I'll be honest with you, that seems pretty good. And then, of course, we've got the real headliner of Blue Sky Stream, and that is Rayquaza V. And again, we got the full art, but no one really wants the full art. Everybody wants the alternate art. We've got Rayquaza looking out over something. We got Zinnia on there. We got a Whismur, which still annoys me because Whismur isn't in the set. And we saw Metacham's got a bunch of Pokemon from the set. I would love it if Whismur wasn't here and was replaced by a Pokemon that was in the set. Call me misery if you like. But this is clearly going to be one of the most sought-after cards. It's beautiful artwork. Zinnia's quite popular. Rayquaza's hyper popular. So people are going to love this. And Rayquaza V isn't a particularly good card. It's not one people are terribly excited about. 2 energy, and you can discard up to 2 fire or 2 lightning, doing 80 more for each one discarded, 20 base. So you basically discard 2 and do 180. It's not why you're playing it. Moving over into Skyscraping Perfect, we have a bunch of other Pokemon Vs here. And the one that really stings for a lot of people is Suicune. Suicune is not getting a special art, just a full art. And I know that's going to upset a bunch of people, because Suicune, again, is a hyper-popular Pokemon. I don't know why it didn't get a special art, unfortunately. I know a lot of people wish it did. But it's got an ability that draws a card if it's in the active, and an attack that does 20 damage base plus 20 more for each bench Pokemon, yours and your opponent's. So that could be up to 220 for 2 energy. I like Suicune as a card, but like everybody else, I really want this to have a special art. What does have a special art is Golurk V. Now, this is kind of a cool one, you know, the full art's there as well, but we really are all about the special arts here. And you've got your Swablu and your Nickit just kind of, you know, chilling around there. And yes, just in case anyone's wondering, Swablu and Nickit are in the set. They're not single strike Pokemon, but they are in the set, so continuity all good. And I love Golurk V. Golurk V is one of the ones that really does it for me. Golurk V is one of the ones I am extremely excited about. Because for 4 energy, but bearing in mind we got ways to accelerate energy for psychic Pokemon, 180. But if your opponent's active as an evolved Pokemon, you put the highest stage evolution into their hand. Well, because it's a single strike Pokemon, we got plenty of ways to do extra damage, and it's quite easy to get this up to 1-hit KOing a Pokemon V. But then, of course, against a V Max, you'll get rid of the V Max and KO the V. And okay, you take 2 prizes rather than 3, but Golurk V to me has so much potential. It'll only take 2 prizes off a V Max rather than 3, but it can basically 1-hit KO anything. Now, Lykan Rock is not getting a special rare, but it is getting a full art, so feel free to be happy or sad as you like. 3 energy, 200, and it can attack next turn. It's not terrible, but we like the V Max. We'll get there in a moment. The V is meh. Speaking of which, there's a Garbodor, which has a full art, but not a special art, and the V is meh. 2 energy, 40 damage, plus poison, and they can't retreat next turn. It's fine, but it's nothing to get terribly excited about. And then we've got a special art Batman. Okay, fine, it's Noivern, but it's Noivern being Batman. Also, and I am destined to never own any of these special arts. I cannot pull them from packs. But goodness gracious me, there's a thing going on the old Twitter there the other day. Everyone was showing appreciation for Mitsuhiro Arita and his phenomenal art style. And then shortly after, we get a look at this. How is this not one of the best things you've ever seen? Look how beautiful this card is. I still think Dragonite just pips it for special art, but I adore this. And seriously, is there anyone out there that can honestly say they want to pull the full art of Noivern rather than the special art? I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there, so I don't know, let me know in the comment section. As for Noivern, single energy on a basic Pokemon, it does 20 to all your opponents. That's probably the best thing about it. It's fine, but it's not a spectacular card. But going second, single energy, spread 20, I can get behind that. Now, Duraleon V has both a full art and a special art, and like I showed you the other day, it is very much the special art that people are going to be after. because it's Ryan and Duraludon just sitting, chilling, eating. How beautiful is this card? Plus, it's drawn by Saito, and everybody loves Saito, another phenomenal Pokemon TCG artist. So, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, these special arts are all pretty stunning, to be honest with you. But this is another one to consider getting excited about. Now, I love Duraludon V Max. We'll get there in a minute. This Duraludon V does 140 and takes 30 less next turn. I'll be honest with you, there's a Metal Duraludon V that we got in Champion's Path, and if you're playing Duraludon in the next year, because the Metal one will rotate out a year early, if you're playing Duraludon in the next year, you want to be playing the Metal one, not this one. Love the artwork, I wouldn't play this card. So those are all these Secret Rare Pokemon Vs. What about the Secret Rare Pokemon V Maxes? They're all getting Rainbow Rares, they're not all getting Special Arts. Well, over in Blue Sky Stream, we have got ourselves a Rainbow Rare Trevonnen V Max. Again, you will see a little bit of a pattern here. The Vs that get Special Arts, if they have V Maxes, there's a Special Art. And the Vs that don't, if they've got a V Max, don't. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So Trevonnen here is unfortunately not getting a Special Art, but it is getting a Rainbow Rare, so if you are a Trevonnen fanboy, there is still something to be excited about. In terms of Trevonnen V Max as a card, the best attack is 2 energy, 40 damage for each supporter card in your opponent's discard pile. It's a nice attack that can punish your opponent, but it's not exactly one that's always going to work, and it can be played around, but I like this as a tech. There is also a Rainbow Rare Gyarados. Again, I know a lot of people really want this to be an alternate art, a special art. There isn't one. I'm sorry. 4 energy, 240. I mean, it will get a KO on Pokemon V, and you can accelerate energy with Frostmoth. And do remember I told you that we got that outrage attack on Gyarados V, so maybe the best thing to do here is use a memory capsule to copy that. I don't think it's a stunning card, but I do, like most V Maxes, I do think there is a little bit of potential here. And then Rayquaza comes along as a Rainbow Rare that nobody's going to want because of this special art. And again, and I know I keep saying this about the special arts, I'm sorry, but goodness me, this is special. This is something to get properly hyper over the top excited about. You've got Rayquaza there just floating around, being a giant over the top of all of these trees. It's just a phenomenal piece of artwork. And I think that is the best way to describe a lot of these special arts. They are taking some of the very best Pokemon artists around, and they are giving them an opportunity to just go nuts and draw phenomenal cards. And these special arts really are the pinnacle of Pokemon TCG artwork as it stands at the moment. It's just ridiculous. And for what it's worth, Rayquaza is a phenomenally playable card, which means that this Special Art V Max is going to be just crazy expensive. The ability says once during your turn, you can discard your hand and draw 3 cards. And there's other draw cards we've got from Vs and V Maxes, but this is a phenomenal bonus. And then it's got the same attack that the old Rayquaza GX had, but better. 2 energy, 20 damage base, discard either all the fire or all the lightning, and do 80 more for each card you discarded in this way. It's ridiculous. It's going to be played with that new Flaffy that can accelerate energy, and it is just going to be, I'm convinced it's going to be a top tier deck, and I could be wrong about that. We'll see soon. The results are going to start coming out of Japan in the not too distant future. I am convinced that this is going to end up being just a top tier deck. It is phenomenal. Over in Skyscraping Perfect, we have got a Rainbow Rare version of Lykan Rock V Max. I haven't said it yet, so let me be clear. The Rainbow Rares are just the regular V Maxes, but rainbow-fied. And Lykan Rock V Max I do like a lot, because for 1 energy, you choose one of your opponent's Pokemon with 60 or less HP remaining, and just get a straight KO. It's really cool. It's not always going to work, but it's a single energy attack, so I love this as a cheeky tech in fighting decks. I think there's a lot of potential here. We've also got a Rainbow Rare of Garbodor, and again, we wouldn't expect a special art here because Garbodor V didn't have a special art. Now, Garbodor can have up to 2 tools attached, which opens up a lot of options in terms of deck building. And then for 2 energy, you do 120 plus poison and they can't retreat. But because it's 120 plus poison and they can't retreat, it puts the vast majority of Pokemon on a 1-turn clock. If they don't get out the active right away, bearing in mind they can't retreat, they're going to be KO'd when it comes back to your turn. So, again, not a stunning VMAX, but one that I think people are going to be able to work with. And then, of course, we've got Duraludon. Now, again, because it is the poster child of the set, because we've got the special art of the V, we have both a Rainbow Rare and a special art of the VMAX. The special art here, I love. I don't think it's on the level of some of the others we've seen, but let's be clear, it is still an absolutely phenomenal card. And what we've got here, and I love this card incidentally, this is, if I'm going to play a real deck, not some silly one prizer that I'm mucking around with, this is going to be the card from the set I play with. Now the ability basically says it doesn't take any damage from any Pokemon with special energy attached, which is crazy good. And then for free energy, you do 220, but it goes through any effects on your opponent's active. That's enough to KO a Pokemon V, but it cannot be blocked by anything, and then it's single strike, so you can accelerate energy, do extra damage in the usual single strike ways. This is going to be a very quick, very efficient deck that's going to just be hitting 220, going through everything, and having immunity to any Pokemon with special energy attached. This is going to win a lot of games because it just sets up when your opponent doesn't. I'm a fan of Duraludon V Max. Now, those are all the Pokemon. What have we got in terms of supporters? Now, supporters are far easier, quite frankly, because all of them have a full art and a Rainbow Rare, which is the same art, but rainbow-fied. So we've got a reprint of Shauna here. Now, do remember this is not the only full art Shauna we've ever had. We did have a promo previously, so choose your favourite artwork. But Shauna's just shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 5. It is not a stunning card, but it's a pretty good card. It is a competent draw supporter. It is going to see play in a bunch of decks. We've got Schoolboy, that you draw 2 cards, but if your opponent has 5 free or 1 prize cards remaining, an odd number, you draw an extra 2 cards. I don't think this is going to be good enough, frankly. It's too easy to play around. And to go slightly out of order just for a moment, over in the other set we've got Schoolgirl, that draws you 2 cards. And if your opponent has 6, 4 or 2 prize cards remaining, you draw an extra 2. I love how they make an adorable pair, but I don't like how either of them can be played around, so I don't really expect either of them to ever see any play. Zinnia's Resolve is a very cool card. Zinnia's Resolve, now you can only use it if you discard 2 cards from your hand, but then you draw 1 card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So it's another one of these that's not going to suit every deck. It's not a draw option for every deck out there, but enough decks are going to want to play it that this is going to see a whole bunch of play. Moving over into Skyscraping Perfect, we have got ourselves Ryan, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that one. And again, this is a very popular character, so people are going to want this card. In terms of playability, one of your Pokemon has to have been knocked out during your opponent's last turn, but you then attach a basic energy from your discard to one of your Pokemon, and then search your deck for any card and put it into your hand. The accelerating 1 energy, not quite good enough. Searching for 1 card, not quite good enough. Putting both of them together, yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Again, we're not talking about an every deck kind of thing, but we absolutely are talking about something which is absolutely going to see play. And then we got a reprint of Copycat. And I just want to point out again, having the artist doing the same art or the same artist doing a similar art for the regular and the full art version is amazing, because you've got a real continuity there and the art is amazing. And this is a card we've seen many times before. You shuffle your hand into your deck and draw a new number of cards equal to your opponent's hand size. It's seen play every time it's been released. We should expect it to see a bunch of play here again. And of course, we can finish off with a whole bunch of gold cards. Yeah, that's right. We're still not done. So, in each set, we've got a gold Pokemon, item, stadium, and energy. So in terms of gold Pokemon, we've got a Frostglass. Now remember, the Pokemon tend to be older reprints. So we've got Frostglass here. It's the really good one that people are playing in water decks, whereby when you evolve into it, you get to attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Water or not, benched or active, sounds good to me. Seeing a bunch of play, people are going to like this. We've then got a gold version of the Cresselia. Now, Cresselia's come around as a pre-release promo, also now coming around as a gold card. And it's the one that's really good in Psychic decks. It's either good to start you off, turn 1 going second, search for free Psychic energy and attach them, otherwise it's only 1. And 2 energy, 30 damage, but if you've got at least 5 energy in play, it does 120. Really good single prizer in Psychic decks. People are going to love it. In terms of item cards, we've got Full Face Shield, which I know a lot of people are making memes with. I'll leave you to that one if you so wish. But this is the one that reduces damage done by 20 as long as you don't have an ability. If you do have an ability, unfortunately, it's not going to work. And then over in the other set, we've got Toy Catcher, which is gusting without a coin flip, just so long as your opponent's Pokemon you're gusting has 50 HP or less. Especially harsh against evolving decks, which makes me sad. But if you want to finish off a damaged Pokemon and you don't want to have to use your supporter, flip a coin, etc., this is a really good option, and for that reason it's going to see a whole bunch of play. Now in terms of stadiums, there are only 2 stadiums. Both of them get a gold version. There's something about that which is absolutely beautiful. We've got Tempest Range, which says once during each player's turn, they may search their deck for a basic lightning or basic dragon Pokemon and bench it. So if you're playing a lightning/dragon deck, it's great for consistency. So that's kind of awesome. And then over in the other set, we've got Crystal Cave, which says once during your turn, you may heal 30 damage from each of your metal and dragon Pokemon. So again, if you're playing a metal and or dragon deck and you want a little bit of extra healing, this is absolutely going to help you out. And then, of course, we've got just some extra energy, some gold energy, because we get one of them per set now. In the Rayquaza set, it's lightning energy. That shouldn't really surprise anybody. And over in the Duraleon set, it's metal energy. That really shouldn't surprise anybody. These make perfect sense. Based on the gold cards we've had already and the types of these Pokemon, that is probably what you should expect. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 46 special rares. Or secret rares, I think is probably the correct phrase. I love it. Now, I don't love how hard they're going to be to collect. I don't love how much I love these special arts and how few of them I'm ever going to own, if any. But I do love taking a look at these phenomenal cards. It makes me happy to look through them. Maybe one day I'll own one. You never know. But for now, I want to know what you think about all of these, and I especially want to know what your favourite one of these is, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.